Good morning. It is 5:31, Thursday the 2nd of July 2026. We're in Dubai. So guess what? It's hot. Temperature is coming up at 31 degrees on my watch, and it's coming up at 22 degrees on my Garmin. Warm, it really is. It's not as humid as it was yesterday, but it's still warm. So my wife just said to me, drive safely, which she says every day, but made me think today's video is going to be about safety. So from a safety perspective, helmets without question. These are Kask Protone or Protune, something like that helmets. They're very popular over here. It's without doubt you've got to have good head protection. Even the shortest, smallest ride, this is a must. Gloves, number two. I always wear gloves. And when I'm on this bike, I always wear gloves. On the Brompton, I probably won't wear gloves because I don't go particularly fast on the Brompton. But I'll wear a helmet on the Brompton no matter what. But on this bike, it's a must. Really, the first thing that you do if you do come off is your hands will go down to stop you from falling, and that's where the cuts and abrasions happen. So I always wear them. They also help with making sure my hand is in the right position, right grip. The padding provides support, and I do have trouble with my hands in terms of nerves being damaged. So it's a must every morning. These are Azos, I think they're called. Don't know the make, can't remember the model. Cycling shorts, another important component. These are a must. From a comfort perspective, that's new. You've got to have them on. It's not really a safety perspective, more of a comfort. In this heat, you sweat a lot, so they're quite thin. They're also obviously padded to stop any kind of rubbing. So they're a must. So quite a controversial component, clipping in. I don't clip in. I don't think clipping in is particularly dangerous. I don't cycle to get watts or to get speed. I'm not interested in the performance enhancements of clipping in. I've tried it, didn't like it, didn't feel safe, didn't feel comfortable. I had a near miss. When my friend Robbie, he comes out with us occasionally, he fell twice with them, and I think if I fall, I ain't getting back up, so I'm definitely not going to be wearing clip-ins. I wear normal trainers, and I have gravel pedals. The gravel pedals have teeth that stick into the trainers, and they feel great. It works really well for me. Now for the bike. So the bike obviously has to have lights on it. You can see the light is on at the moment. It's dawn here, so it's kind of dusk. But I'll always have lights fitted to the bike. I never feel comfortable without the lights. I have a front light, which is a Garmin View Vario. It has a camera on it. The camera's on it really for safety, but it's a safety feature. It's like a dash cam. There's a lot of times when people are cycling over here, it's hot, they don't always think straight, they walk in front of you, pedestrians will walk in front of you, that cyclist just coming around the corner then was very close to my side. She could have easily cut the side, and that could have been a nasty accident. So dash cam is a must. And then obviously on the lighting, we have a radar system on our bikes. Really important. I don't cycle on the right road much at all, but you do get a lot of electric scooters that come up very fast behind you and very quietly. Those that's what I really use the radar for, to keep an eye on those. This bike is fitted with another safety feature, an upgrade, Tyre Whiz, and ironically I've just looked and saw a little bit of foam, sealant foam. They are tubeless, just a little bit of sealant foam, and I noticed yesterday that the sensor was showing that it was getting flatter, so I put some more air in it. But I think it might have a slight puncture. I need to have a look at that later. But I love the fact that obviously I can feel that the bike is flat's going down, but I can see what the air is. So that's another good safety feature. Tyre Whiz sensors. I have a Garmin 1050, which is amazing. Love it. I have it set up with a heart rate sensor. I don't necessarily think that is a safety feature, as I'm not too sure it detects heart anomalies and reacts to them. I don't think it's that intelligent, but I may be wrong there. But it does have a impact crash detection enabled. So if the bike or me has an impact, the bike falls over, it gives an audio alarm, it gives a countdown, and then it'll contact Sue to let her know. It also has track enabling, so when I'm cycling, my wife gets a link of my route, not my route, she probably would get the route, but what she does get is my position, where I am, GPS wise, and she can follow me. And sometimes she's followed me so that she knows that I'm on my way home and that the breakfast needs to be got ready. So it's a nice little feature. So not a new part of the bike, but I used to have a manual wolf tooth pump fitted to the bike always. But I'll be honest, I think if I had a puncture, I don't think I'd have the energy to pump it up in this heat. So I've abandoned that and gone for one of those small electric micro pumps that I make sure is regularly charged. I run tubeless because, again, you know, I like the idea of tubeless, but I don't want to be messing about with changing tyres and changing inner tubes and fixing punctures out in this heat. So tubeless is another must. It is all about safety. It's about being quick. It's hot out here. It'll get hotter, and dehydration is, you know, a key compact, and sunstroke, heat exhaustion, all those things are real risk factors that you need to consider and mitigate. Another safety feature, talking about dehydration, is I have two wolf tooth titanium bottle mounts with two titanium water bottles full. Now you on my videos you see that I run out quite regularly on that. I probably should get larger bottles. I don't think they do them in titanium, which is what I want. Those are lighter, but most importantly they keep the water cooler for longer, but also the titanium is much more healthier to drink out of. There's very little contamination or bio stickiness to them. Doesn't embed into the metal because the titanium is so much more denser material. So I love those bowls. They're great. Another safety feature is our center communications. It's not its primary function. Its primary function is just to be able to talk to my wife, which is really good. I enjoy the rides where we're together. Most of the time I do cycle off a bit quicker, but some of the longer rides we stick together and have a right conversation and chat. But also it's used to say to her, look, be careful, it's clear, there's a bike behind you, watch out for that car. It's another good safety feature, and in fact I never do feel safe riding with her without that, because sometimes it's difficult to shout, watch out, and you don't really want to do that. So it's a great safety feature. Just going back to my tool bag, my saddle tool bag, which I really love. It's one that's been made by a guy in Canada. It's very small. It fits everything in there perfectly. And basically inside that I have the inner tube, the tubeless repair tool, which is a small one. It's quite a good one. I'm not too sure of the make, but it's a real nice one. I have a small day saver tool, which is amazing. You can obviously change over the heads, which cover all of the bolts on this bike. I have some emergency suntan cream just in case I forget, and I have 2 ibuprofen headache tablets, and I'm going to need to remember to put into it some aspirin just in case. Heart problems, aspirin's really good. Put under the tongue. Again, don't know if that's true or not, but from what I've heard it is. And certainly if I have a heart problem, that's what I would be using. So when I'm on a longer ride, these are just short 20-30k rides, but when I'm on a longer one, I will fit more bags to the bike. I'll fit a saddle, a bar tube bag and a handlebar bag, and they will have more enhanced safety features in it. So on my bar bag there is a high visibility foldable vest just in case. It also has some more enhanced first aid features, so more tablets. I have a full set of tablets, ibuprofen, stuff for diarrhea, stuff for upset stomachs, stuff for hay fever, stuff for congestion. I have a whole pack of little tablets, because if you're out for a day and you're unwell, it's not good, because you can be out in the middle of the desert, nowhere. So that's important. I also have the top tube filled with protein bars and protein shakes, protein gels, just in case. And I have got larger water bottles, and I've got a water bottle vest. I haven't used those yet, but really I should get some bigger titanium bottles so I can store more water. I think one of the last safety features that I have is my glasses. They are obviously full UV protection. The frames are Oakley Jawbreakers. I actually from Oakley got them made into prescription. They're ballistic, so any kind of debris or flies that hit my face, hit my eyes, they're not affected. And occasionally we'll be cycling along here and an insect will hit me, and it hits me with some force. I mean, it's not like a bullet or anything, but I think if it hit your eye, it'd be painful. So the Oakley Jawbreaker glasses are a must, and I always really generally cycle with glasses on. In fact, in life, when I'm outside, I'll always have a pair of sunglasses with me to protect my eyes from the UV. So that's second nature to me now. A couple more features. The first one is about planning. First one is going to be about my bike. I have it regularly serviced. I don't service it myself. I'll put oil on the chain and I'll wash it regularly, of which I've actually run out of washing fluid, so it does need a wash, and the chain does need to be oiled, but I'll regularly have it maintained in line with the recommended guidelines on it, which I think is based on cycling distance. But you know, I have a really good mechanic, Noor, in what's it called, Cycle Hub, who didn't invite me to the launch of the cycle of the to the Cycle Hub in Jumeirah, which I go there quite a bit. Spent a lot of money there, and I didn't get an invitation to the launch of the new S-Works tarmac, which I would have loved to have gone to. You know, I would really fancy a road bike at some point, perhaps, just to give it a try. I love my gravel, and I think that's more me, but I wouldn't mind giving one a try. However, the last safety feature is about preparing overall. I only tend to go on cycling routes. I tend to minimise road. As you can see, I'm on a road at the moment. I don't like cycling on roads. There's not many roads I would cycle on. The route I take, you need to transition between each segment. I think there's 2 or 3. Yeah, 3 road sections, only small. But usually when I'm cycling in the morning, the roads are quite clear, but also the cycle paths are quite clear. You know, you don't get many people at 5 a.m. Cycling here, so or going to the beach here. You get a few, but not many. If this was a weekend, then we have to take a little bit more care. So, also on the planning, I really don't look at wind direction, but I do have an app that looks at the wind direction. It's never a factor. It's always a thought afterwards. Like, I know at the moment there's a slight headwind, nothing major, but that's sometimes a factor. Weather conditions. You know, if it rains here, you've got to be very careful because it does flood. And we do get quite a few storms here. And I'm not really worried about the storm, but I'm worried about these palms either falling on me or, you know, a branch falling on me. So you have to do a lot of planning during certain seasons. Not a lot, just a kind of thought beforehand when not to ride or to ride. It's beautiful over here riding in the rain. Suntan cream, another must. I don't tend to put it on in the mornings. It's not, the sun hasn't really risen and I'm not out that long. If I do a 50k, I certainly do put it on because I do feel burnt. Sometimes I feel really exhausted after those 50k rides in this heat and this sun. So suntan cream is a must. At least a factor 50 I wear. And as I said, in my emergency bag at the back there is a couple of small, I bought them off Amazon, individual packets, tiny packets, just enough for one application for one person, of factor 50 suntan cream. Just on my way home now. Another safety feature, and in fact the most expensive of all my safety features, and probably without doubt the most controversial, is the fact that this is an e-bike. That made it a lot more expensive. I'm sure you can get cheaper e-bikes, but I wanted an S-Works. I wanted this colour, I wanted this model. I fell in love with it and still in love with it a year later. But the safety components of it is that just going round a corner just then, there was a bit of a tiny gap. There was a car in the way, and my knee just tweaked slightly. And I know that if I have any kind of medical problem, well, not any, but if I'm feeling too fatigued, which I haven't yet, I've come close a few times, or my knee starts to hurt, which I use the power for about 2 minutes just to the lift really when we're coming out of the house, just to warm up my knees. That's the lift over the bridge, not the lift down from the apartment. I don't ride it in the apartment, but I will have the power on just to help my knees warm up. And I'll also, if there's ever a problem, then I'll have the power on just to get me home. But generally, I don't have it on at all. It's on zero assist at the moment. But if I had a problem, it's always there as a really good safety feature. Definitely not a safety feature, but a product that I'd kind of recommend is, which I forgot this morning, is bone conducting earphones. You may notice on some of my videos I have these Shokz earphones. I used to have Suunto Wings, but they broke. In fact, this is the second set of Suunto Shokz bone conducting earphones I've had. The first broke after about 3 weeks. The Suuntos lasted about 6 months. I can't find the warranty on those, the receipt, and now I've gone back to my warranty returned Shokz, but I forgot them. And the reason they're a safety feature is because you do not want over-ear earphones that have noise cancelling, or even having Apple ones that have transparency. They wouldn't work for me, they'd fall out, distract me. So the bone conducting ones are really good. Can't recommend them enough, apart from the fact that they don't seem to be very rugged. I'm pretty sure it's to do with the sweat. I'm going to go for the Suunto Wing 2s after the holiday. No need to get them now, I'll wait for a sale. But they look like they have a USB plug-in with a cap on it, and I think I'm going to give those a try. So just finished my ride, 20 kilometers. I don't think it was a good ride. Let's have a look at some of the details. So yeah, in terms of, and don't forget I've reduced my zone 1, so it should be super easy. I didn't really try this morning. I spent 29 minutes in zone 1, 15 minutes in zone 2. The vast majority of my power was split between 1, 2 and 3. 14 minutes in 1. The zone I need to get into, zone 2, is still, and that was 7.5, just coming up to 8 minutes. Zone 3, can't tell at the moment, radar's on. And zone 3 was 13 minutes, zone 4 10 minutes, and zone 5 5 minutes. Wasn't a good ride, but I have been testing a few, in fact I haven't tested this one here, but I've been testing a few new data screens on my bike computer, focusing on trying to figure out power and heart rate. And I found one I like, because at the moment I've got too much data on the screen. It's too many indicators, and I've got too many indicators to focus on. Like I always talk about, do I focus on zone 2 heart rate or zone 2 power? Zone 2 power seems really difficult to maintain, not to get to, but to maintain. I always go over it. Zone 2 heart rate at the moment, and I think it's to do with the heat and how your circulatory system changes. I don't know how. I would have thought the hotter weather it would have been easier to get to zone 2, and I'm pretty sure that's the case. But for me, it seems more difficult in this hot weather. Even with this low 114 zone 2, I barely got to it. But it was a ride, it was a nice, pleasant ride, and I've really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow's ride, Friday. Tomorrow's a day off. I might, if I can, if it's this kind of weather, I might get 50 in. But it is dependent so much on the weather. So, catch the data later. I'll probably go through what the screens are tomorrow and do another little test on these screens. But catch the data later. Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.